Home. A shelter with beds for all, a place to cook, eat, tell stories, do homework, store our clothes and books, hang our art, and use a bathroom. How can these simple ingredients have such an emotional tie for us? I think it is because home is embedded in the environment. Sounds are a profound part of that environment, especially natural ones. So I might say that birdsong defines home. I'm likely to wake to the formal notes of northern cardinals, the policing cries of blue jays, the intense notes of northern flickers, or the chatter of house sparrows. I slowly got to know the other birds of my home, the whistles of a passing flock of cedar waxwings, the hoarse voice of the fish crows nesting down the block, the clear repetition of a Carolina wren, and the clicking sounds of a Cooper's hawk. And there are others. Many others. If you know the birdsong that defines your home, you can never lose it. If home becomes song, then no landlord can push you out. You can maintain the feeling of home. Though it might not include a bed, it will be somewhere you can revisit. My home is in St. Louis, the city that opened the West and sold furs from the North to traders headed south, to New Orleans, down the Mississippi, from where they would be shipped to Europe. It is a city that has been important ever since Native Americans built the mounds across the river in Cahokia and also all through what would become northern St. Louis more than 1,000 years ago. I like to say that St. Louis became big before America became selfish. This means we have a wonderful zoo, great museums, and state parks that have no entry fees. My home is more precisely in an independent city adjoining St. Louis proper, called University City, founded as a planned city by the publisher, insecticide salesman, and shyster/visionary Edward G. Lewis. Lewis wanted to move his magazine publishing to a choice spot and had to buy the adjoining 85 acres to do so. He bought the land in 1902 and incorporated the city on September 4th, 1906, with himself as mayor. His idea for the city was that it would follow the natural hills and valleys of the land, with minimal fill. The neighborhood to the north of us, University Heights, has curving streets and variably sized lots that fulfill that dream. Our street is in an area called West Portland Place and is a simple grid of streets, though the hills mostly remain. In 1871, the eastern section of our street was named after the natal city of my father, Berlin. But in 1918, it lost that name because of strong sentiments against the Germans. The name of a military general, Pershing, was deemed more suitable. The efforts in 2014 to bring back Berlin as the street name failed. Our house was built in 1921 of solid brick, 3 structural rows coated inside with plaster on a lot that's 50 by 135 feet. The clay that our bricks were fired from was dug locally, probably from within 3 miles of the house, perhaps from the pits in Dogtown. The thick walls help our home stay warm in winter and cool in summer. It has giant radiators because it was built soon after the 1918 flu epidemic. Some then thought that keeping windows open was good for health, and the radiators had to keep up. We wanted to make this small piece of St. Louis as wild as possible. First, we dug a small pond with a deep end of 3 feet and a shallow end where the toads could easily hop out. We surrounded it with slabs of native limestone and put a row of limestone boulders to curve across the back, separating a wild meadow from our vegetable garden. We planted the slope in front and the curb strip with little blue stem and other grasses, with asters, echinacea, and other prairie plants. On one side in front, we planted blueberry bushes. I imagine children going to Flynn Park Elementary 2 blocks away plucking a blueberry or 2 to suck on, though the blueberries ripen long before school opens in the fall. Or they might pick a brown-eyed Susan for their teacher. In the fall, our little hill turns purple with asters. American goldfinches hang from drying flower heads, picking out the seeds.